the organizers of this August summit, the nation owes you a debt of gratitude. Once again, my name is Ikechukwu Obiorah, and I submitted a bill to the National Assembly for the amendment of the Constitution to provide for the establishment of an independent as in small case, independent National Electoral Commission. And that bill is pending. So I'd like to give you just a little background on that. I observed that, I don't know whether you noticed too, that there is an enduring consensus amongst Nigerians that the prevalence in the nation of hunger and want, poor education and illiteracy, of disease and healthcare crisis for families, of squalor and slum dwelling, you could even add constructive homelessness, of unemployment, of insecurity, is because of the prevalence of poor leadership amongst the 3 tiers and arms of government. Nigerians also agreed that the poor leadership, including me, because I was a member of the 6th Senate, one thing we must make clear is that all of us political leaders are part of the problem, all of us. So that this poor leadership is a direct result of stolen elections and rigged elections. Dr. Bugaje says that we must address rigging. It is because of rigging that we have poor leadership in the country, because the people are not able to vote their conscience and hold the emerging leaders accountable. And the reason why we have rigged elections perennially, constantly, is mainly because of the conflict, the debilitating conflict of interest inherent in the appointment of electoral officers and electoral bodies by the president and the governors, appointing these people who conduct elections in the same elections in which the president who's appointing will contest, either the president or the governor or their political parties. But what can we do? So my bill seeks to strip and transfer the power of appointment from the president and the governor to neutral entities. Specifically speaking, my bill seeks to create a new INEC that is composed by 13 commissioners, 6 of whom would be appointed by 6 Nigerian labor and professional organizations, and 6 will be nominated by the United Nations, and then 1 nominated by Transparency International. Now, Dr. Bugaje, you are right. We cannot continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. We can't. And I took the liberty of stating that the 6 Nigerian labor and professional organizations that would elect 6 Nigerian commissioners will be Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Polytechnic, Academic Staff Union of Nigerian Universities, the Institute of Chartered Accountants, Nigeria Bar Association, Nigeria Medical Association, and Nigeria Union of Journalists. Of course, these nominations will still go to the Senate, to the National Assembly for confirmation. But any rejection of any of the commissioners will require a 2/3 majority vote concurrently passed by the Senate and House of Representatives, voting in person and by secret ballot, so that there's no way from 1960 to date we've been battling with rigging and rigging and rigging and rigging. We need to do something different. Well, I'm standing today because of the fact of how bold the proposal is. A lot of people feel a little unease. So the frequently asked question is it not an infringement of our sovereignty for the United Nations to participate or be involved in our elections? So, and the answer, let me tell you, I gave a lecture to Muslim Tertiary Students Association 3 months ago, and I laid it out for them clearly that the answer is no, it will not affect our sovereignty, because it is Nigeria as a sovereign nation that would make that request. It's Nigeria as a matter of fact, United Nations under Article 2.7 of their charter is prohibited from meddling in the internal affairs of member nations. So they wouldn't do that. But those member nations who give consent for the United Nations to help them, to assist them, would receive that assistance. Assistance like humanitarian aid, electoral process, peacekeeping. Those who give that consent will receive that. As a matter of fact, it is noteworthy to see that the United Nations has given electoral assistance to over 100 member nations from 1992 to date. As a matter of fact, the Cambodian election of the 1992 to 1993 was organized exclusively by the United Nations. And it is also gratifying to know that from the comment sections that I have looked at, Nigerians agree that the involvement of United Nations would bring transparency, neutrality, and competence, because of the fact that these nominees will be least likely to succumb to corruption, to bribery, or intimidation, and they will bring competence. We're talking about vote buying, vote. It's just incompetence, because if we had secret booths where people will go in and vote, it means that the vote buyer will not be able to confirm where his customer, the vote seller, will vote in secret. So that solves it. But simple tasks will have the problem. And I should take this opportunity to address the so-called sovereignty. Nigeria today, as we see, is only merely technically a sovereign state. Technically, that is what it is, because the Treaty of Westphalia that brought out the concept of sovereignty made it such that the very first thing, the equation of sovereignty, was the provision of socio-economic benefits to the people, protection from violence and all that. Today in Nigeria, most parts of the northern Nigeria have been lost to bandits. Most parts, sometimes 30%, sometimes 40%. So we are not able to protect our brothers and sisters up north. So where is the sovereignty? All of us Nigerian leaders, depend on foreign nations for our medical needs. So ask yourself, where you see a president of Nigeria lying unconscious on a surgical bed in foreign land, surrounded by foreign doctors, is that sovereignty? Is that sovereignty? Okay, so we can't feed our people. The people in Nigeria today facing food insecurity are almost 70%. If you cannot feed your person, your people, and you're dependent on importing food, which will not be enough, is that sovereignty? That is not sovereignty. And just should mind that in the next 10 years will be about 300 million people. And what will happen? Since independence, we have spent over 2 trillion in infrastructural development. But unfortunately, 99% of all that big money we spent went abroad because of lack of technical competence in Nigeria. So is that sovereignty? Okay, natural resources. We have mined, harvested, and shipped out our natural resources. And we get only 10%. That rather than 100 people, get only 10%. But the people who ship these to, what do? They process it, refine it, and sell it and get 70%. So meaning that we have enslaved ourselves to the foreign nations. Is that sovereignty? So I am just saying that let's not go and hide under this issue of sovereignty. Let us stop the dispersal. Let us come together under this bill. Let us all come together under this bill to get the National Assembly to pass the bill. And somebody said that it was too late now. It's not too late because our constitutional imperative trumps everything. If we change the constitution tomorrow as to make my bill the epicenter of our electoral process, then that is the ground norm. So there's no lateness. Only when we have honest elections can we deal with the problems of Nigeria. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, distinguished Senator Ikechukwu Obiorah, for that lengthy but, of course, meaningful contribution.